Welcome to the Health Sport Podcast, a podcast in which we discuss with athletes of all levels, health professionals, and key figures of the sport world. Before presenting this episode's guest, please consider sharing this with your friends and loved ones who could benefit from it. Also, I encourage you to subscribe to the show on whichever platform you're listening to. It helps the podcast grow. This episode's guest has lived a powerful personal transformation. After years of struggling with addiction and obesity, he decided to completely change his life, eventually losing more than 40 kilos and committing to sobriety. Last year, to mark a full year of sobriety, he set an extreme challenge for himself: running and cycling a total of 365 kilometers in a single day. This year, he will run the famous Marathon des Sables. Today, he shares his journey to inspire others to make change about their health, their habits, and their mindset. Please welcome Will Pattinson. Will, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me on the Health and Sport podcast today. Pleasure to talk about my journey and where I've came from to now.
Yeah, you have an incredible journey. Lost more than 60 kilos, I think.
Yeah, to be precise, 55. Yeah,
55.
Yeah,
that's quite a lot still.
Yeah,
and 5 days ago, you posted on Instagram one reel that really struck with me. You were talking about water and Coke Zero. Yeah. About when you need one for hydration and the other one for craving. Did Coke Zero really help you through your transformation?
Yeah, it did big time. Yeah, when the cravings got hard and to suppress hunger, it helped a lot through those times as I was going for a heavy calorie deficit, trying to strip the weight off as quickly as I could. Most definitely it helped.
What was your craving before?
The cravings were everything around binge drinking and drug taking in the past. That's what my life was for many years. Heavy binge drinking, heavy party going, and doing it to the absolute extreme.
And did the Coke Zero, was it the fuzz, the bubbles in the Coke Zero that help, or just the sugary craving?
No, the Coke Zero in general, the sweetness of it, obviously being a 0-calorie drink as well, and the bubbles in it, for anyone that's losing weight, it's a hack to lose it, to suppress your cravings.
And what's your story? Where do you begin?
My story, I'm an Aussie bloke from a place called Orange, New South Wales. It's a country town just out of Sydney, and grew up out there, and as a kid went to school out there, a little primary school, and grew up pretty easily, and had a loving, supporting family around. It was a tight-knit bubble out there, and then sort of went away to boarding school after that, and it unravelled a little bit from there. I suppose the intensity for me there might have not matched my shy personality, and then I became a bit of a name for partying hard and being I suppose the last one man standing and doing all sorts of things.
All right. Were you doing sports when you were younger?
I was quite active when I was younger. Yeah, I liked a bit of rugby here and there. I did enjoy rowing for a brief moment. I was half all right at it for a glimmer of moment there for probably 2 years till everything else took over in my life.
Oh, wow. And you started drinking, and was it progressive, or there was something happening that something happened and it switched from casual drinking to like everyday?
I suppose it started around the end of year 8 when I was at boarding school. As any kid that sort of age is trying a few things, experimenting things, and I suppose I wanted to experiment pretty well everything out there, and I did quite that. then it sort of progressed on from there. It started with the drinking, and then I thought, oh, this is fun, and then that sort of became my personality in a way. It blanketed who I was, and I just drank to excess, and then drugs followed on from there, and then gambling down the track. It was sort of chasing that dopamine high, and not feeling comfortable in myself of who I was, instead of blanketing myself with everything else.
And was it like every day?
No, it wasn't. I was a binge drinker, so I tend to not really drink during the week at all. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sort of Sunday was when I'd go hard at it for a couple of days.
Ouch. And on the other spectrum, was there a moment that you realized something needed to change?
I suppose it went on for, probably 10 to 12 years there, and out there, had the family and support around me, but it was, I didn't think I had a problem there for quite a while, and that was the issue. Anyone out there that's trying to change, if they don't think they've got the problem, you've sadly just got to let them go to hit rock bottom, then for them to work it out for themselves, and then want to make the change, because I was in that, I suppose, position there for quite some time where mum and dad, family members, health professional people would say, you've got to change, or otherwise it's going to be a short-lived life. And I'd be like, oh, yeah. And then I'd pretend I was going to change there for a few years, and then it was just never meaningful for yourself. You'd do it, then you'd relapse, or you just wouldn't progress anywhere with it. And then, rock bottom, I suppose. It just got to the point where I was extremely overweight, and I was sitting there in an airport in Munich, and had nothing around me, really going on by myself. Massive Oktoberfest bender, and thinking, shit, what the hell am I doing? I need to start changing a few things. And then came back to London and got into some fitness and just basic step counts and things like that, and then it progressed on from there. I got rid of the alcohol. I think I went about 8 months sober there for the first stint of when I first got the transformation going, and in that period, I think at my heaviest I was around 136 kilos, and then in that first period, I think I might have lost roughly around 30 to 25 kilos, and then then came back into a Europe summer, and the wheels fell off there again for 2 to 3 months, and then I ended up at Lanzerhof in Munich, and that I suppose was a life-changing bit for me. That gave me the spark and ignite again, and thinking, fuck, I'm never going to do this again, and then it was pretty well like a springboard from there. It got back into the fitness hard and gave up the drinking and everything, and it's been life-changing ever since. I suppose I needed that kick up the bum a bit in that 8 months period, and then get relapsing again. It gave me that motivation and drive, I suppose, to never do it again, and you also can't bang yourself up on those experiences. I take that as probably a blessing that actually happened, because a few things shifted in my life around environments and things I was in those times, and I'm glad I'm out of them now.
When you did your first transformation, what was the program? Was it the same that as the second one, or it was?
No, it was very, very similar. The first one was more about just movement and calorie intake, I suppose, were the main two focuses. 10 to 15,000 steps, non-negotiable every single day. That was the main pillar of the whole thing. And then me being a bit of an extremist, I suppose, in the way I do things, I put a calorie deficit of about 1,500 down at the start to get it off as quickly as I could, because I knew if I did it hard and determination and driven, just the way I suppose I liked to do everything else in the party world of things, it was go hard or go home sort of every time. So pretty well use that mentality and addictive personality to my advantage in a way, and things move very quickly. I did 3 to 4 weight sessions per week as it progressed on, when that movement got better and better, and tracked the calories hard, and also weighed myself once a week, and just saw the scales dropping, and I was like, wow, this is good. And then obviously your confidence grows off that, and also your whole mindset starts shifting, and that once of a blanket that was over me for so long, I was slowly starting to see that open. And for anyone out there that's done a transformational in one themselves now, it's pretty cool when you start to see that blanket off, and it's pretty well like I suppose a whole new life in a way. I'm 30 years old now, and I feel like I'm about 18 again.
Oh, that's nice. And 10,000 to 15,000 steps per day?
Yeah.
Outside or on the treadmill?
No, outside. Yeah, I'm not a treadmill, not really a treadmill sort of person. Do it a bit here and there, but I suppose in that led me on to then running down the track, and it was just gradually getting the movement faster and faster, and moving more, and the more you do those boring things and consistent things and keep it simple, that's the main method of the day, instead of trying to overcomplicate it.
Did you have only like a circuit that you will be doing time to time, or you were always changing?
No, I stuck to a plan for the whole time pretty well. Once I get something going, and I suppose I start to see the results, I'll stick with it. And having ADHD and having that addictive personality, I see as a extreme superpower if you use it right. Once I get dialed into something, I'll stick with it, and I won't move out of it.
And when you were doing your steps, after like maybe a month or two, you can get tired of doing the same streets, the same neighborhood. How were you changing your track to do their steps?
I never really changed it. No.
Okay.
I do everything.
You stick to the same one?
I stick to everything the same. Same with food.
Oh.
How you see the results. That's in my eyes. If you stick to a plan that works and you just keep on doing it repetitively after day, and just keep stacking and attacking. That's what I say to people these days. I'll keep stacking miles and moving forward with it all.
When something's working, don't change the formula.
No, not at all.
And when you started to be able to run a little bit, were you thinking about doing marathons, or it was something that was so big to even think about it?
I don't know. I sort of just jumped into it in a way. There was a half marathon in Victoria Park one afternoon, and I thought I'll sign up to this and do it. I'd started off with a few 5 and 10K sort of runs, and then I was like, I'll sign up to this and see how I go. And having the I suppose the ticker that I like to have towards all that sort of stuff, it's the same as bendering and parting. I look at marathon running and ultra running. If you've got ticker, and you can, it's how far you can go, and how strong you can keep yourself upstairs mentally, the more so than fatiguing in the legs, and that got me going. That Victoria half marathon, I did that. I'm like, wow, this is a pretty good feeling to be able to do this after losing however many kilos it was then, to then a couple of days later signing up to the Paris Marathon, and that was in April last year, and signing up to that, and putting that goal in front of myself, I suppose, was a bit daunting at the time, and training up for that, and going into it fairly open-minded, and coming out with a decent result for my first marathon, 3:29 time. I was amazed by that, and then started looking towards more things, down the track, which led me to doing a 365k challenge thing for 365 days sober, and that consisted of a 100k run from London to Brighton in under 10 hours, and then I was meant to do a bike ride, but bike broke down 25 kilometres into the ride of that, which was unfortunate. I suppose that was the first sort of bit that didn't go my way with it all. All the running, it was all pretty rosy for me up till then, and I hadn't been getting injured much or anything like that. And as anyone knows, when you're starting off, you're meant to, I suppose, build into it. But I've, I suppose, taken a bit of a different approach with my running journey and gone all in. And I suppose that's my attitude towards anything: go all in or nothing. And that's how I see the results I want to see. I hope with everything going forward. Then a couple of months later, I had the New York Marathon, and that didn't go to plan either. Massively didn't. Had a bad sodium overload and cramped up, and I was shattered after that. But looking at that gave me even more drive towards certain things coming forward. One being the Marathon de Sables in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, and in what year did you start your transformation?
It was a bit over 2 years, about two years ago now.
Okay, so it's still recent.
Yes, yeah.
And all the path you did in the last 2 years, it's quite incredible.
Mm.
So the first official run that you did, the 5K, 10K, how long were you in the process when you registered for this race?
What, sorry, which?
Okay, on the first official race, the first 5Ks, 10Ks, when did you register for the first race?
That was a year and a bit ago now. A year and...
a year in the transformation?
A year into the transformation, yeah.
And now, 18 months later, you're running marathons and running in the Marathon des Sables.
Yeah.
And what was the most important aspect when you started your transformation? Was it the nutrition, the movement and physical training, or the mindset?
For me, it was the mindset, I suppose, and wanting to purely do this transformation for myself. Because you can sit there and think, oh well, I'm just going to go and change my diet and do the movement, the weights or anything, but you've got to want to change it for yourself, no one else. And then you're the one in the driver's seat. Might sound selfish, but you've just got to zone into yourself and know what's good for you and be in your driver's seat and not be the passenger of a back seat. And then you'll start to move forward well.
And with the mindset, sometimes we say that you're similar to the person closest to you, your family, your friends. Did you have to change environment to be able to make the transformation?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I was in Sydney there for quite a few years and then came over for a holiday over here in Europe, and things got worse before they got better. But I suppose getting out of that environment for a bit, most definitely helped me get to where I am today. And it took a bit longer than it probably should have, but I'm blessed that it's happened this way and learned a lot along the way.
And now do you have a new circle of people that can support you?
No, it's the same sort of tight-knit circle. It's fascinating the people that drop off though, when you I suppose do work on yourself and no hard feelings to people like that. But it's funny to watch. Drop like flies, and your real mates start to show well.
And for you, it's for your health. You're doing this. As you said at the beginning, the doctors were saying you couldn't have a long life. It's going to be a short one if you don't make any changes. So you have to choose life or party.
Yeah, well, like, yeah, I was overweight, obese, and yeah, had high blood pressure, gout, and things at my age. It was just a ticking time bomb. But obviously, I wasn't going to listen to them at the time. I thought I was invincible. They're probably and bulletproof there at one point. But yeah, once you hit that low enough, you'll realise that yeah, there's no lower you can go, and yeah, you've got to start working on yourself to go out. Otherwise, you're knocking on death's door.
And at the beginning of your transformation, did you make mistakes?
Yeah, I made plenty of mistakes at the start of the transformation. For what I wanted to do it, I wanted to go sober and live a sober, healthy life. That was the main thing out of it, because I'd tried before in the past to moderately drink and tried it too many times, and it was just never going to work for me. And then obviously the drinking then would lead to drugs and gambling and things like that. So I just knew, yeah, I had to give that up and to live a happy and healthy life. And yeah, it's worked out for the better now. But yeah, there was so many mistakes at the start. I did 8 months into the transformation, cruising along nicely, and then yeah, slipped up there and went on a 2 to 3 month fairly big bender there over Europe for another Europe summer, and I look at that. You can call it a mistake, but in my eyes, you take it as a win at the end of the day. Anyone out there that has those sort of mistakes, you come out the other side better. And I find, as I mentioned before, that relapse was the blessing in disguise of to where I am now, because it got me out of some environments I don't want to be in any longer, and yeah, move forward and keep pushing for more and more goals that I'm looking forward to achieving.
When we talk about addiction, usually you have relapse. It's almost inevitable, sadly, but there are some people that their relapses are the end of the world, and some people like you, your first relapse was the turning point. Was there something specific that really made you think that this relapse is going to be a launching board to become healthy at the end?
No, there wasn't nothing specific. Okay. I suppose I just started. I stalled my fitness and health there for 2 to 3 months whilst I was in that party stage again, and feeling that shit feeling I was feeling before I'd started the transformation altogether. Starting to feel that like more and more as the days went on, of me drinking more and more or taking drugs more and more. And yeah, feeling that shit feeling again. I'm like, fuck this, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I need to up the fitness again and get back into that healthy eating and doing what I was doing before, that was making me feel so good. And I suppose I just pushed that harder and harder, and it kept me going again. And then yeah, I look back now and and you reflect sometimes on the past. I look back at that, I'm like, wow, like what I've done in that space of time to now, and thinking, wow, what can I do now in the next 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, 5 years? If I can do that in the space of 18 months to 2 years, it's exciting and yeah, a bright future, instead of looking down a dark tunnel or being 6 foot underground if I kept on going the way I was going.
And when you lose weight that much, Was there a moment that you stopped being someone trying to lose weight to becoming someone who is active?
No, but yeah, I suppose the losing the weight hit to a point where I was comfortable with what I'd lost, and I changed the dieting and things a bit more towards the performance side of things, because obviously I became more active in the time, more and more over the months and months of building up to where I want to go to down the track with endurance running, and needing to fuel the body more, for sure. So the calorie deficit and things, I track my calories still, but I do it strategically on obviously a heavier loaded days. I'll be eating more carbs than what I generally would on a day that I'm not going as hard or heavy loaded.
Yeah, you're not stretching the calorie deficit after 2.5 years.
Right.
And so you started running while you're doing your steps, doing a quicker movement, everything every day. And is it something that when you started running, like I can just imagine you after a couple of months or weeks just walking and then trying to do some steps. The feeling must have been really crazy.
I can't really remember how it started, to be fair. It's probably how everything else before started. I suppose I just started, thinking, wow, I'll give this a go. And then it's pretty well like how I picked up a drink, I suppose, for the first time. I'll give this a go, and look what it did for 10 years or so there. It just absolutely mayhem there, and would go for days. And I suppose that's the same how maybe the running sort of started for me. I started off and thinking, wow, this is good. I'm feeling unbelievable. Why not do it a little bit more, and just kept stacking, and that's what I'll keep on doing.
It's how you discover your love and passion for running.
Yeah, running and health and fitness in general, everything. It's a great community to be in because everyone's out there bettering themselves every single day. No one's putting each other down or anything like that. Everyone's in a great frame of mind and wanting the best for everyone.
And what was the first distance you did that really struck you? Was it the first half marathon, the first marathon?
No, actually, the marathons didn't struck me that much at all. It was the 100-kilometre run from London to Brighton, and I thought, wow, that was my first 100k run, and I'd done it after work on a Friday night as well. Worked the whole day, and then ran from London to Brighton. Left at about, I think it was 5:30. It was the middle of the summer. It was about 30 odd degrees, and two mates followed me in a car, and we took off, and doing that that's where I suppose it struck me that this is something I like to do, push my limits and see how far we can go with it, and that was the start of it really. I did it in 9.5 hours, and I've done a marathon since then in New York, and I obviously had the issue with the sodium, but nothing struck me more than that 100k run, and I suppose that's a bit of the why I signed up to this marathon des Sables. It's obviously a 6-stage event, but over 6 days self-supported, but just that brutality, and severe heat, and I suppose being in a bit of a survival mode is right down my alley.
Yeah, and all the challenges. Marathon des Sables, 365 kilometers last year. What attracted you to endurance sport?
I suppose testing your limits. Running and endurance sport, there's no the beauty of it. You could be on top of the world one day running and then the next day you might have an injury or a niggle, or it might not feel as easy as what yesterday's morning's run felt like. And it's pushing through those harder days that I enjoy the most, of the days where like, oh fuck, I could easily lie in here and not go for that run, when it's, especially in London here, when it can be in the minuses or below 5 degrees. They're the runs that count the most in my eyes. If you get those done, it makes those easier runs even easier, and it's just a great sport to be involved in. There's no finish line. You're out there versing yourself, and you can keep on pushing yourself higher and higher with it, and raising the ceiling.
I did my first marathon last year, 6 months ago, and it's at the point that I stopped counting the number of half marathon I'm doing.
Yeah.
Before I was counting them, 21Ks, I've did the 4, 5, 6. And when you train for a marathon, you're like, that's I do longer for my weekend run. So the reality start to change.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I look now, I do 100 plus Ks a week, and look back and think, now I want to raise the ceiling higher with some of the stuff that I want to do, and get that up to around 140 to 160 for certain things coming up down the track. And looking back to, say, 18 months ago, I was probably doing 20K a week or whatever. But at the end of the day, the stats don't mean anything at all, really, in my eyes. It's you've got to want to enjoy it, and if you're enjoying it and you're out there running and running with friends, it's a great social thing. Just being out in the fresh air, and it's the best sort of fitness I reckon you can do.
Are you saying that you might be trying to vision Moab?
I'm visioning a few things, yeah.
I've talked a lot with endurance cyclists, runners. Do you think that endurance sport help you as a therapy?
100%. I think it's a great therapy for anyone that's had that the addictive personality in the past. People out there probably think, you've just switched one addiction to the other. Good on them. Like in my eyes, if they want to say that, I suppose at least it's nothing negative in your life anymore. It's something positive. It's something healthy, and your whole life changes from it. That's how I look at it. Definitely therapeutical when you're out there. You're in your own thoughts, and a lot of things come to your mind that you might have not even thought of, and a fair few new business ideas and everything like that. It's pretty cool how much your mind opens up when you're out there.
And you're so much in the present moment when you suffer, when you're on a bike or running, that at some point you start to learn that to let go sometimes in life and just let things happen. And from there, you can see beautiful things coming up when you let go sometimes. And like you said, if someone is as an addictive personality, I think I have to. So when I go like really hard on something, for me, it's my balance. Probably for you, what you're doing and all the transformation, all the time. We didn't talk about it yet, but the time you put into your transformation at the beginning, like every day must be putting hours and hours.
Yeah, I still do, but either way. But I put in hours and hours every day. I put in, at the start of the transformation, don't know how many hours a week, 20 hours a week probably, I don't know, something like that. It's the same now, 20 to 30 hours a week of different types of training.
And was it hard to put everything together, find a balance with work, personal life transformation?
No, not really. No, I got the passion of waking up early. To be fair, so I get up at 4:30 a.m. sort of time and get 2 to 3 hours in before everyone's even up. So that's how I look at it. Is if you get well in front of the game, and then you've got plenty of hours ahead of you.
I'm that type too. Waking up early and crashing the gym before the first meeting it feels so great. It feels so great. I don't know if it's for everyone. Do you think it's for everyone?
I mean, it can be for everyone. That's the thing. People. It depends on how people want to live their life. People make excuses there at the end of the day for not wanting to do it. And I made plenty of excuses, I suppose, when in the past of when I did it. So I know how that person feels as well as how I feel now of going all in with it.
What was your main excuse when you were not at the beginning of the transformation, but before doing your first transformation?
The excuses were, I can't do this, or it's too hard, or the main excuse was I don't have a problem pretty well with the alcohol and the drugs and things, because that was the main holding me back from anything, doing those two things, because I do it so hard on the weekends. I just didn't have a head on me during the week for anything else, and it was rest and recover, then go again. It was just a vicious cycle. That was the why for me, thinking I didn't have the problem, and I suppose I can't change or whatever. Why do I have to change?
Yeah. And after 2 years, do you still think that the transformation is hard?
Yeah, 100%. If I was in someone else's shoes right now that are in my shoes, what I did back then, fucking oath, it's incredibly hard there at the start. But I know, if you put that time in and you just keep ticking hundreds of small wins off, things get better very quickly.
It's hard, but at the end, how proud you are of yourself.
Yeah, you're finally proud of yourself, and I suppose not ashamed or the guilt and shame that the reckless behaviour you've done in the past, and I suppose writing a new script, writing a new narrative on yourself of what you want to become, instead of the label of the party boy or things like that, and showing people that showing people that there is the light at the end of the tunnel if you really want to dig deep and put the hard work in to get there. Nothing comes easy at the end of the day, so anything good out there, or successful people out there, either with business or health and fitness and things like that, they put in some serious work to get to where they've been.
And to stay motivated throughout, like you said, just seeing the small steps, your daily small steps that's coming up, the little wins, to have the big win at the end.
It's all just pieces of the puzzle, really. There's you just keep there's no end big winning. It's all just it's all part of the journey and different chapters of the journey to where the next stepping stone is to raise the ceiling higher. As I said, the ceiling keeps getting raised higher and higher everything you do every day. If you're implementing things into your life that are wanting to move you forward, you move forward very quickly.
Are you enjoying your journey?
Yeah, absolutely loving it.
It seems like to enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, no, I love the structure and routine it gives you, and I suppose like you don't feel powerless to those things in your life that I was powerless to alcohol, drugs, and things like that. It would just rip everything from me, and having me being in the driver's seat instead of the passenger seat of those two things is, I suppose, the main take out of it, and having your own freedom in your life, and not having to, I suppose, listen to anyone really, other than yourself firstly. And if you think it's good for yourself, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be good for yourself, and blocking out that outside noise.
To celebrate your first year of sobriety, you decided, as you said earlier, to run and cycle 365 kilometers in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Where did this idea came to you?
I just came up with it at the end of the day. 365 days for a year, 365 Ks.
Have you seen if someone else have done something similar? No.
No.
And how did you plan this?
I planned it just on a Strava, a route mapping system with the two blokes mates that came down to help me along the way. Yeah, we planned the route out and just went for
it. We plan and we do.
Yep.
As simple as that. And this episode, when it will come out, you're gonna be running the Marathon des Sables.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a challenge that you wanted to do from the beginning, or it just ended on the track?
No, I was looking out there for decent size events and multi-day events. After that 100k run, I thought, I woke up the next day after the 100k run and actually went for a run that day. So looking at that and thinking, well, if I can do that, why not give something a bit more of a go over a few days? And me being me, go in at all guns blazing and give it a red hot crack. And that's exactly what I'll be doing. It'll be tough, and I know the heat and the food source and things will be poor compared to what I do when I'm in London here training. My nutrition's on absolute point. Obviously carrying weight ratio with packs and things like that for the Marathon des Sables, so limiting food intake and things will be to manage that pack weight. But I sort of look at it as I put myself through the ringer there, and with alcohol and drugs and things, this can't be much harder when I look at it to what I've done to myself in the past, and see where my limits are, if I see them at the Marathon des Sables, or if after that things get bigger.
Nice. For everyone listening who doesn't know what is Marathon des Sables, can you explain what you're going to do?
The Marathon des Sables is an ultra endurance event in Morocco. It's over 6 days, 270 kilometres roughly. You don't actually know the stage mileage till you get there, till you turn up, but it's roughly 30 to 40 kilometres each day, with a long stage in the middle of 100 kilometres, and it's a self-supported event where you've got to carry all your own food, water supplied at the checkpoints and at the end of the day, and bivouac tents. But other than that, it's you out there, and it's the 40th year this year, so it's a big milestone for the race, and there should be over 1,000 people running it, I think.
Oh. And to prepare yourself physically, you're gonna run, but did you try something to adapt to the heat?
I've got a coach for the race by the name of Rory Coleman. He's actually done the race 18 times, and he'll be doing the race again this year for his 19th. Learning all the tricks and the trades of a veteran of the race himself. has been key because if I didn't have him in my corner to be able to coach me up to this point and get me ready for the race. So I think I would have turned up there at the start line fairly underprepared. There's a lot of technical things to do with packs and food and what to take and stuff like that. And yeah, the heat adaptation, next week I'll be starting that at the Altitude Centre in London. That'll be running in a room of probably around roughly 35 to 40 degrees. To build up that climatation and trying out kit and things that I'll be wearing in the race. I do saunas as well, 3 to 4 times a week anyway, during all year round with ice bars. So that's another recovery tool I use.
Oh, crap. And the sauna, you're doing it relaxing? You're not doing sport in the sauna?
No, the sauna, yeah, you just sit in the sauna, yeah.
Okay. Because I think I've heard some people doing cycling in the sauna just to get high.
That's what it'll be similar when I'm doing this heat climatation thing. I'll be running on a treadmill in a heat room, which it'll be a little bit less hotter than what a sauna is.
Oh wow!
The sauna is about 90 degrees, I think, but the heat room, 35 to 40.
Oh crap! And you can train physically, you can train your nutrition, but one aspect when you're doing ultra is mentally.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I personally think I'm a rookie to the game, and this will be my second biggest thing. But it's all mental game, really. To be fair, no one. I don't think looking at a race like the Marathon des Sables, no one can say they're 100% prepared, except for the top leaders, probably. Really, anything can come out there, and that's the beauty and why it's so tough. Learning from my coach Rory, he says, there can be a fucking sandstorm one day. I think it rained last year on one of the days, and the year before it was roughly 50 degrees in one of the sand dune areas there. He said, you get exposed to everything out there, and that's why it's so tough. Everything will come out there mentally, physically, under fatigue, dehydration, sleep deprived. Like it'll all really show what I'm capable of doing.
Have you watched some documentaries about the Marathon des Sables to get to know a little bit about the race?
I've watched a couple of videos here and there of the race, but as I said, Rory Coleman, the coach, has been the best valuable tool for all that. Asking him plenty of questions along the way.
Yeah, last year I think. Do you know the YouTuber Average Rob?
No, I don't.
He ran the Marathon des Sables and he had a film and crew with him. So I think it's a 1 hour documentary, 1 hour, almost probably more than 1 hour. And I think it's the first time I've heard about the Marathon des Sables with this video. And you watch the video and you're just like, okay, you're a bunch of crazy guys and girls running in the desert for 6 days. Okay. And when you do ultra competition or ultra challenges, how do you plan? How do you work with the voice inside your head that says stop?
I suppose, what you just keep asking yourself why you're doing it, and at the end of the day, my why is I want to keep pushing my limits and see. Once you break through one sort of limit, then it just gets risen that little higher, and the bar just gets higher and higher. It's amazing what the human body can do if you use it right instead of destroying it with alcohol or drugs. For me, anyway.
You're doing it for you.
Yeah.
You're not doing it for anyone else.
That's what you do. You're doing it for yourself. I'm personally doing it for personal growth and motivation, and I suppose and also inspiring people out there that you can flick the switch and either put it into something like your health and fitness or your goals you're wanting to achieve. If your mindset's right, that's the main thing. First, you need a strong mindset and clear mind without any distractions in your way to push forward.
And your journey is quite incredible. You did it like 2 years to change your life around at that much. Congratulations, Will. I'm sure you're inspiring a lot of people. But do you think the speed you did your transformation can also become negative to other person that says, oh, it's too fast, too much, I didn't reach as much as Will in that time frame? Do you think it can negatively impact some people?
No. Well, yeah, probably can, but can't. But you can't. That's the thing. You can't compare yourself to others. You've just got to get in your own lane and do what you want to do. Starting to compare yourself to others, that's where you just fall down a trap and you won't go anywhere with what you're wanting to achieve. You wouldn't be doing it for yourself if you start comparing towards others.
If you could go back in time, talk to Will in year 8, 9, 10, what would you say to this young version of yourself?
I suppose I'd say, this isn't what life is. What you're doing here is, you're not achieving anything really. You're just cruising along in autopilot. You've got no direction. You've got to kick yourself into gear.
And if there's a listener that wants to change, what would be your tip as a first step to make?
My tip would be start with an open mind and start with small steps and actionable steps each day, and don't overcomplicate things. Start with one thing one week and then build off that, and every Sunday reflect on what went well that week and what went bad, and work out the things that went bad and why they went bad, to then redirect it for the following week.
That's a great advice. That's really great. And sometimes when you're in the performance environment, sometimes you think about weight loss. Oh, I need that project. I need to do this and that. Just think about the basic step. And like you said, doing your step, eating healthy, cutting really toxic patterns, drugs, alcohols. If you cut that, you're going to do probably the best thing you can do for the beginning. And then from, like you said, just build up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have one last question for you, Will. It's one question I ask every guest on the show, is what does it mean to you to be healthy?
It means everything to be healthy. At the end of the day, you can have every flash car or Rolex under the sun, or anything, materialistic stuff. But if you don't have your health, you're fucked at the end of the day. So, in my eyes, health's the wealth at the end of the day. It's the wealthiest thing you can have in your life.
I've done more than 60 episodes now. And it's the first, every time I hear something new. So thank you, Will. I was not, it's the first time I'm hearing health is everything.
It is, by far. Well, as you can't have anything else in your life, or you can, but you're not going to be happy to start with. And at the end of the day, the health, you need that first before everything else.
If listeners want to follow you running Marathon des Sables, following your journey or everything, where they can find you on the internet?
Mainly Instagram's my main social media handle. It's Will _Pattinson 95, That's where I mainly post all my motivational or tips of things that have helped me along the way, and in my coaching journey now, coaching people to help them on their journeys where I firstly started to grow them is exciting times for me, because that motivates me just as much as everything I'm doing in my own personal life to help others out there achieve the same goals I've achieved. Is an incredible feeling in itself.
Oh, well. I want to wish you the greatest at the Marathon des Sables, but also enjoying it the most as you can.
Yeah, thank you very much, Felix, and for having me on the Health and Sport podcast.
Thank you to have accepted the invitation, and everyone go follow Will. The link's going to be also in the description. They have a lot. He posts a lot of reels, like the one with the Coke Zero that we talked at the beginning. So, Will, thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you very much, Felix.
And see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you to have listened to this episode of the show. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, leave a rating and review. It really does help. And for more content, please follow the show on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. See you next time.